Hello there. So I'll be comparing the speed of the P5 Plus. It's the PCIe 4 NVMe M.2 solid state drive at 1 terabyte versus the Samsung 1 terabyte Samsung 980. So this, I believe, is a PCIe 3. In general use or workload like office and stuff, you won't probably notice them. Maybe even in gaming you really won't notice the speed, but I've decided to use this one as my primary drive and this one as my secondary drive. So pretty much, yeah, I'll be putting them on and testing their speeds. So here read speed says 3500 MB per second. Well, I'll test them later when I install them. So we'll actually see what kind of performance they're getting from DiskBenchmark. So this one's a Samsung one, PCIe 3, I believe. So let's see. So this one there. Okay, got the power manual inside. It's so small that probably could save more space by using a different, like a smaller box. Okay, so let's see here. That's the drive manual. So I'll be installing it in my my MSI MPG Edge Z690 DDR4 Wi-Fi. So installation guide, but I think installing it should be fairly easy on the port anyways. So I'm not sure if I need to really open it. Well, how about there? Then let's get the P5. Okay, let's see. Sticker is kind of loose. I didn't really have to break it. It's better not be used. Okay, so I got it here. Okay. P5 Plus. This should be rated a bit faster than, well, the Samsung Gen 3. What's the speed? Well, I'll read the specs later, but it should be, is it 5000 Mbps? We'll find out on the testing. So then it has a small screw here. Samsung doesn't. But if your motherboard already has a lock or a screw, so it probably wouldn't really matter. And then the instructions, of course. Instructions and maybe warranty support. It should have a 3-year warranty for Crucial. Samsung would have its warranty statement. Oh, why do they always have to make it hard to get these things off? Okay, let's get this. Oh. Okay. Let's see, installation. Yeah, installation should be fairly easy. Okay. It's 5-year limited warranty. It's over here. I didn't know why I had to open this one. And this one's a 3-year warranty. So this will pretty much be my main drive connected to the M slot. So, and then I'll test it out. I'll post the results in a bit. Okay, so these are the two drives that I'm testing and I'll be using on my build. It's the Crucial P5 Plus and the Samsung 980. So the Samsung 980 is the Gen 3. So I'm expecting it to be slower, and on their package info basically. So it should have a speed of a read speed of 3,500 megabytes per second and a write speed of 3,000 megabytes per second. And the most important thing on these newer drives anyways too is the TBW. So TBW stands for terabytes written. So it's like the endurance or the longevity of the drive. So the bigger it is, the better. So it's how many terabytes could be written to the solid state drive during its lifetime. So both of them have around six. Well, according to the info I got, both of them should have around 600 TBW. Samsung, like I mentioned, it's a Gen 3, and then the 3.5 read, and then 3 write. So we will test that later. And then the Crucial P5 Plus, it's a Gen 4, so I expect this to be faster. And according to its blurb, it should be it's a PCIe 4 or a 4th gen NVMe, and it should have around, they don't actually even say it as 6,600 megabytes per second, but they actually say up to 6,600 megabytes per second read and 5,000 megabytes per second write. So this is the read write, this one's the read write. And then the same thing with the TBW for Crucial. It has a 600 terabytes written during its lifetime, so that should last a long time. And both of them have 5-year warranty, so hopefully I'll get to use them as far or as long as I can, and their performance would be up there. Anyways, let's go to the benchmarking pieces. So I decided to use 2 benchmarks. Well, so for the software, I'm using the ATTO or ATO disk benchmark. So basically, it's an old one if I remember right. It's been around for a while. So it measures disk performance rates of various sizes of file display. So basically, it'll have a list of files it's reading and writing, and then the results are displayed in megabytes per second. So it's like any disk benchmark. I would think it'll calculate the reads and writes of the data blocks basically, and how long that takes. So I'll be using that one. I'm going to do multiple runs, and then also I'll be using the CrystalDiskMark. So I'll run it multiple times in default mode. So I'll just have this one run for maybe 4 or 5 times. This one I'll run it 4 or 5 times, maybe 6, just to get some consistency, and then I'll post probably the last one. If the data looks they're all similar, I'll post the last one. And then I saw options for NVMe SSD on the CrystalDiskMark, so I'll run this maybe twice and see the data and the difference. There probably won't be any, but I'll just select it because I want to check out what that's about basically, or is it something specific to NVMe that needs to we need to look at. Though personally, in my opinion, I think everything should be in default, as we are not really, when we're running any application like Excel, Word, emails, playing games, or surfing the web, the setup of the computer would be whatever it is, whatever the default is anyways, unless you tweak something. And I have not tweaked anything. It's a fresh install of Windows 11. Actually, the drivers, whatever driver there is, it's I didn't see any conflict on the driver. So actually, whatever driver Windows 11 has for all of the devices I have connected, that's all I have. And then I also saw this peak performance. I'm gonna select this one later. I'll probably do one run, but I'm not really interested in the peak performance because it's whatever the default is, or maybe the real world performance is. I would think that would probably be the default on whatever is the real world performance is anyways. So yeah, these are the 2 tools or applications that I'm going to run the benchmarking with. So let's review the results. Okay, So I did run the ATTO or ATO disk benchmark. So this is the pretty much the last run I did. The data looked similar anyways for all of the runs. So this is pretty much the last run for them. So I ran it 5 times. So pretty much this is the read, right, for the Crucial, and for the Samsung this is the read write. Well, you see it here anyways, right there. So let's look at the Crucial. As you see, as the size gets bigger, it does get faster, and they're rated for 6,600 reads. So 6.5, 6.25 rather. That's pretty okay. And then the write would be around 5,000 megabytes per second. So 4.1, it's, I guess with this test, it doesn't seem to be writing as fast as they say it would be, though it's still, it's still fairly fast. I mean, I probably won't notice the difference if it's a Gen 3 or a Gen 2. There might be, in real world applications, there might be like fractions of a second difference, but it's, this one's close enough to their rated read. The write, it's like, not that close. I was expecting maybe 4.8 or something like that, but it could be because of the application too. So I'm not sure if it's that's the application might need to be tweaked for, I don't know, need to be tweaked for the new M.2 numbers, because it looks like even on the Samsung one, the 980, so 980, you'd see their rated read speeds would be up to 3.5. We do get a 3.23. In general, all of the 5 runs, they're kind of close to the same. Some will have like higher numbers than the others, but there really wasn't that big of a difference. And then the write speed would be around 3. Here it's 2. The highest is like 2.5, 2.6 here. So in a way, the ATTO benchmark looks like it's it's still fast. I'm not complaining about the speed or anything. It's just that I didn't want to just rely on one benchmark to look at the speeds, but for this benchmark, it looks like the read speeds they're there. So 3.2, yeah, they're there, but the write speed seems to be a little bit slower on this test. So let's move on to the next one, which is the CrystalDiskMark. Okay, so with CrystalDiskMark, you'd see all of this on top would be for the Crucial. So these are the Crucial, and then the Samsung, it's all here on the bottom. So I did run around how many? I think 5 for the default. So these are the default. These 2 are the default here. There. And for, let's see, for the Crucial, it looks like it's actually closer, this test basically, it's closer to what they did advertise. So you'll see that it's 6754 read, and they did say it's 6.6. So this one's actually higher using this CrystalDiskMark, and I'm not, I'm not too sure if this is actually the benchmark that the manufacturers or most people are using, but I just I randomly looked around and just found them, and it looks like it is, but I can't be too sure because I've been away for all of the the techie stuff for a long time, for a while. And then the write speed here, it's close to what they claim of 5,000 megabytes. So that's actually pretty good for for this test. It's there was actually a run that I got 5,000, and then it was 4.9 or 5,000. That was on the earlier run because I did run it multiple times. So even for the Samsung one, which is great, so they did say it's around 3,500, and they're actually a bit above it. So yay for that, yay for you know. And the write speed though, it's 3,000 megabytes. This one's 2007, so not there, but you know, it's getting there, I would say. And I probably will not notice the speed, like I said. I mean, if it's a fraction of a second difference between one or the other, that's fine. This one's my secondary drive, so this will store a lot of the stuff that I'm not working on or might have saved somewhere, or you know, backups basically. And my main drive would still be the Crucial P5 anyways. And now on this piece, this one's okay, let me move this. So, okay. Now I did run, this is the second run of the NVMe setting, basically. So this row here, it's NVMe setting. So like earlier, it seems that when in NVMe setting, it's similar to what the rated speed is for the Crucial and the Samsung too. The write speed got up a little bit when I put it on the NVMe setting. So I'm not sure if there's something specific, because it looks like it's the same data block that actually, yeah, it's sequence 1 and Q8 Ti. So it's the same here. Okay, now it's the other two that I'm not sure. So like this one, and this one, and this one. So 128K kilobytes then, Q32. So that looks like that changed, but still I'm happy about the speed. So they're close, especially with the Crucial, they're really close to what they're rated for. Samsung, this one's higher, but this one's a bit lower. So this one's good. This one's it's still okay. It's still gonna be fast. It's just that I wish it's kind of closer, like maybe 2900 or so. Still, I'm not, you know, it should be fine. And then the last one, I just did a run on the performance. So on the performance side, for Crucial, it's still the same, 67, which is great. So it's higher than the 66 that they say it would read up to. And then the write, it's, you know, 4962, it's still close. So it's just there. It's a little bit down, but still close. And then for the Samsung, so the read is still fast. So it's still 3559, and the write still, it's kind of low on the performance side. So it's still close enough to, you know, 3000. So yeah, that's I guess that's just they're not on the write speed, it's just a bit slower on this benchmark. So all in all, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna remove the benchmarking tool after I run this, after I run it, you know, for a few days. Actually, you know, within a few weeks, it's stable, and it's, you know, there's no errors that I'm seeing. But I think I shouldn't anyways. So that's it for the performance on the CrystalDiskMark benchmark. And for me, both Crucial and both Crucial and Samsung looks like they're running good. They're close to their, well, on the read part here, they're exceeding what they said. The write part, Crucial, it's hitting it there. It's just literally it's there. But the Samsung, the write speed on this benchmark, it's just a tad lower, but still, I'm happy, and let's move on to the temperature. So when I was running it, I was measuring the temperature, and pretty much I got a screenshot of the temps I was getting. So let's move on to that. So when I was running it, I had the hardware info open, and I was just looking at the temps and checking it out and seeing, you know, if it's if it's getting too hot or if it's running okay. Well, they're both in the MSI motherboard with the built-in heatsink on the Edge motherboard, right? So they actually have the thermal pad and heatsink attached to them. So this one's the Crucial. Sorry for my handwriting is just, I haven't written anything or I rarely write stuff. I've always been on the computer for years, but okay, it's ugly. Well, anyways, so the highest it reached was 60. So this is the max, and then the minimum is 44. So I was running them. I was running them throughout the morning multiple times. So I took a screenshot. Maybe after a few runs already, anyways, for both of them. And then I also noticed that the average temp for the Crucial, which is a Gen 4, so I think it's more of a Gen 4, more power, more bandwidth. So it's 51. So I think it normally just runs warmer. So the lowest that when it started, the lowest I saw was like around 40. So it would be around 40-ish. And then the highest was 60. So it just runs warmer than the Samsung, which is a Gen 3. So the Gen 3, or the Samsung itself, it was running fairly cool, even at multiple runs. The highest it got, well, I think the right temperature would be this one on top. The highest it got was 42, which is close to the normal range of the Crucial. So 42 was the highest, and then it was idling at 30-ish basically. So yeah, it was idling at 30-ish, and then you got an average of 39. So during the runs, it was running cool, and they both were running cool. It was never really my case has two 140 intake and 120 intake fans, and I have a top-down blower, and the SSDs have both of them have the MSI built-in heat sinks basically for the M2. So looks like, yeah, and it's important to keep them cool, and I mean, that's why I actually tested them too, to make sure that during any load, or especially when summer hits, that it won't be a problem. That's why I kind of wanted to check to do some benchmarks. I don't usually run benchmarks, but normally in how I set up my machines, even back in the day, even the like the 90s, I'd run benchmarks to make sure everything's stable, and then I'll just let it run till I need to replace them or till it dies. So that's it. So I'm pretty happy with Crucial and Samsung. I think I made a good choice, and I think with their the lifespan and their brand, it should last a while. So I'm hoping to keep them for a while. Thank you, and I hope this helps.